Really don't know why this man is staring at me. I'm pretty sure it's because he fancies me or he thinks I'm a weirdo. He's about to pass. Do you see him? He's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Can someone tell me how it's the case that a random guy walking across a room is the creepy one, but the girl who is mic'd up and filming strangers in the gym for content is not? Is it possible that he's looking in your direction because he sees the camera and is trying to avoid being on someone's Instagram feed? Because I can imagine that a lot of people are getting annoyed, considering that this crap is everywhere now.
As Charlie was saying, you don't have to put your knees on the outer edges, but you can do it both ways. Feet together or knees together or knees separate. Go ahead and lean, breathe into it.
She said in the caption that a guy on the left was staring at her during her spiritual retreat. That guy's not staring at you. It looks like he's just uncomfortable doing child's pose, and he's moving around because he has tight hips or tight knees. That's super common for a yoga student. And please, this is not a spiritual retreat. They do yoga retreats on like a quiet beach in Fiji. This chick is doing yoga on a dirty carpet of some cheap hotel ballroom that's lit up with super bright cool tone lighting like it's a warehouse or a Costco. This is the most discount budget retreat I've ever seen. That being said, I made a video on this topic over a year ago, and despite everyone condemning this behavior, it's kind of just gotten worse. Every social media influencer and their grandmother with dangerously bad squat form is pointing a camera directly at their ass and complaining because some guy who can't see anything from the angle he's at happened to look in her direction for a split second. I've seen enough of your deadlifting videos where you drop the weight every rep because it's too heavy for you to know that you obviously want men to look. You wouldn't be using that camera angle if you weren't trying to bait coomers into following you. So why do you feel like it's necessary to film this stranger and damage his reputation by labeling him as a predator and posting him on social media simply because he looked in your direction? Now, this is not to say that there aren't creeps in the gym, but this is not the case in this particular situation. So clearly, this false accusation is being done to promote her social media page, and the filming at the gym has gotten so bad that Instagram chicks are basically telling you that you should have no expectation of privacy in a gym.
Everybody that had so much to say about me filming in the gym yesterday, like, oh, I hope they ban cameras. It's none of content creators' fault that you're so insecure that you just don't want to be caught in the background of somebody's video. That's something you need to deal with, honey. That's personal.
A gym is private property, not a public sidewalk. People are justified in being mad when every Instagram social media influencer is pointing a camera at them so she can get some more butt shots for her page or do boring skit content.
A confident person gonna be like, shit, let me just move out the way. If you got anything negative to say, you take your insecure ass to the house and do some home workouts until you're confident enough to work out in front of people and not give a damn what they got going on.
It's not about confidence. It's about not wanting to be a part of someone's OnlyFans content. Why should people have to be subjected to that just because they want to work out? Also, what about those people who are taking cameras into the locker room? Honestly, I'm surprised that gyms everywhere aren't cracking down on this behavior, because if I were new to working out, nothing would be a bigger turnoff than the risk of someone uploading me to their TikTok account, making fun of me in some way so they can get clout like this idiot here, or this woman doing a bench press. I wonder what it's like to be in the mind of the person who thought that this was a good upload. She's only lifting like 20 pounds more than the guy. She's arching her back, which makes it easier to lift more weight, and she clearly is struggling to lift it, versus the guy that she's making fun of is easily lifting his weight. She didn't watch this back before the upload and think, yeah, maybe this guy wouldn't have that much of an issue benching 155 based on how easily he's doing 135. After this clip went viral, some guy on TikTok did a response where he shoulder pressed her bench weight. Then he took it even further, looked up her deadlift weight, which was a stunning 185 pounds, and does 275 with one hand. So it's not very smart for a chick to shame a guy for likes and clout, especially when her max lifts are beginner lifts to a guy. The fun thing is that this is not just a one-off clip because a different Instagram influencer did the same bit for likes and clout. If I can outlift you, you have to call me daddy. You can see the guy on the left has 30-pound weights and she has 40-pound weights. Let's watch the video, and wow, she is really struggling with that weight compared to the guy that she's making fun of that looks like he's about 20 years her senior. Does she not see how easily he is lifting that weight compared to her? He can probably press a lot more. So you have to think, all these people can't be this stupid. They have to know that this makes them look bad, especially after this video went viral where a girl accused a guy of being a predator and a pedo, followed by her getting a bunch of backlash. So you would think that the boatload of women who went on to make videos accusing strangers who did nothing wrong of being gym creeps would get the point that this makes them look bad, right? Well, actually, I think they know it looks bad, and they are doing it on purpose to rage bait people and promote their Instagram or OnlyFans, which is why they have to go, ooh, woo, this guy is staring at me and thinks I'm so hot. He's such a creep, but remember that people think I'm attractive, so check out my other ass photos. It turns out that disliking a woman does not stop guys from subscribing to her and giving her money if they find her attractive.
When you got kicked off of Fresh and Fit the first time, how much money did you make, girl, afterwards? Like, how many...
Fresh and Fit, there's no one that does more for OnlyFans women than Fresh and Fit. Myron, one of the hosts, wrote a book, Why Women Deserve Less. You are the number one, you have helped sex workers more than anybody, I think, in the world. You have given us the world. Every time I come on your show, my money goes way up.
Yep, that's 100% true. Despite their whole content being centered around saying OnlyFans is bad and the women who do it are stupid, Fresh and Fit are the biggest promoters of sex workers. Well, maybe not anymore, because they only get a fraction of the views that they used to, and in the current day, the Whatever podcast does way better, but the point is that these people know what they're doing.
I make more than a doctor, and I capitalize off of men. You guys are my biggest fans, even if you're haters. I made over $400,000 last year, and it is all because of you. So you guys want to keep clowning on sex work? Keep it up, because if you guys just came together as a whole, as men, we wouldn't be in business. We are profiting off of you. Keep talking shit about sex workers because we are making so much more money.
Exactly. If you don't like these OnlyFans chicks because it's anti-traditional or anti-Christian or whatever, then stop giving them money. This is a two-way street. It's not just the women, it's also the men supporting the product. The women wouldn't be there if the men weren't buying. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that the women are completely innocent here, but if you're going to virtue signal about how bad porn is and how it's ruining women, then instead of placing the blame solely on women, how about you stand on your principles and stop consuming it? And if you can't stop, go get treatment. Dr. K has a ton of videos on it if you don't know where to start. But this whole Manosphere podcast to OF subscriber pipeline has to be obvious to at least some people at this point. Otherwise, these alpha male podcasts wouldn't still be able to find so many female content creators to do the show after they spent hours per episode trashing them. The hosts are definitely aware of what's going on because they almost exclusively put 19-year-old female sex workers on their shows instead of women who are there to actually challenge their opinions on dating and relationships. Congrats, a man in his 40s defeated a girl half his age in a debate. Real brave.
What happens is they hate themselves and they see you and they're attracted to you, and then they can't help it because they want to see more, and they're actually secret simps, but they hate themselves for being simps, so then they subscribe to your OnlyFans and hate themselves for it. So then they go back on Fresh and Fit and watch women get bullied to kind of make themselves feel better. At least with that audience, that's what I noticed.
That's how that works.
That's how that works. Yeah, most of the time. Like, you'll see some people that like hate watch Fresh and Fit, and they're like, oh my God, I loved you on there and I joined. But a lot of them are still red pilled. Like, I call them like my red pilled simps. They will they agree with the message. They think I'm a 304. They think I'm a whore, but they still fucking want to see the so they go and that's how we make money.
Right. It's porn addiction. It's guys who can't control themselves by not consuming the content that they spend so much time saying is wrong. Look at the thumbnails. It's always women in bikinis or the spiciest photo being used, and keep in mind that these are the advertiser-friendly thumbnails I'm showing. If you look at Whatever Podcast or Access Vegas, they are clearly porn baiting to attract attention from addicts. They aren't against OnlyFans at all. OnlyFans girls and Manosphere podcasts are in a symbiotic relationship. And by the way, it's not like this stuff is exclusive to this industry. There's fake outrage content everywhere. So if you see something like a video of this dad who is so mad at his daughter for bringing a boy over that he spontaneously throws out her TV with 3 different people filming, including a guy who magically knew to wait outside, then know that it's bait. Same thing with stuff like this.
Height matters.
Of course it does.
Step on the scale.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not going on a scale. You should love a girl for who they are.
You should love a guy for who they are.
If you care
you're being
about
a coward.
Weight, you're ridiculous. And
if you care about height, you're ridiculous.
It's bait. These are fake interviews they set up to make women look stupid, to promote whatever dumb man on the street thing they're doing, or whatever podcast they have going on. And I'm not going to name names, but behind the scenes, I have literally watched girls pay Twitter or Instagram accounts to make them look stupid to promote their OF page. And it works really well. So all the people involved know what they're doing. The problem with things like Manosphere podcasts is that they are preying on lonely guys and teaching them very antisocial behavior that will not lead them to good relationships, followed by pushing them towards an addiction so they can profit. I don't care how many anti-porn podcasts that Fresh and Fit have made, they are clearly not against it or they would have changed their business model. And the problem with the gym stuff is that these content creators are taking a place that should be a fun, positive social environment where everyone's there to make friends and self-improve, and they're poisoning it so they can promote their Instagram or OnlyFans page. Like this girl here doing a squat. If she really thought she could have died from his terrible spotting, then she could have stopped after the first rep. Is this girl who wears makeup to the gym really that outraged? Or was she trying to use this innocent stranger for content who, by the way, was strong enough to almost curl her squat weight, so I don't think she was in that much danger. So is it about the outrage, or was it about using ass shots and virtue signaling to promote your fitness page? Honestly, I work out at home and I don't train to failure because I think it's unnecessarily dangerous, and stopping 1 to 2 reps before failure works just fine for making you stronger, provided that you get proper sleep, eat right, and train consistently. So I don't know enough about spotting to tell you exactly what he's doing wrong here, but with all the Me Too stuff going on, there might be a reason why a stranger is not super willing to get close to a girl he doesn't know that well. Even though he asked her for her phone number, which she made sure to point out because using that to call him a creep will boost the view count. And maybe I'm ignorant here because I'm still just intermediate at lifting, but some of these women will gaslight and say, I'm just filming to check my form. Please educate me on how pointing your camera at an upward angle to focus directly on your ass gives you additional useful information that could not be gleaned by taking a non-sexual camera angle, such as filming from the side. So I think all this does is promote toxicity in the gym for short-term rage clicks, which discourages people from going. And then the whole, ooh, this gym creep is staring at my ass, guys, aren't I so desirable style of content kind of greenlights the more extreme stuff, like actual OF content being filmed at gyms. Obviously, I can't show that stuff on YouTube, but here's the safest one I could find. That is disgusting, especially considering that in this particular event, it was being filmed at a place that regularly has children walking around. Not that this would be the first time that something like this has happened. Here's someone filming OF content at Disneyland. Are people starting to see why I keep bringing up hypersexualization as a problem? To the extent that I'm forced to agree with grifters like Anita Sarkeesian in videos like this one? It's one thing if adult content is kept in separate spaces, but these days, more and more, everything's being turned into pornography. To the extent where people don't even have the decency to keep this shit away from minors, which is going to create more addicts when they grow up. And sadly, the video of the girl spitting on the Olympic bar isn't even the worst example I watched, as there were many women advertising their OnlyFans by rubbing their private parts on gym equipment that other people use. Does that count as a sex crime? If a guy rubbed his junk on the handlebars of some machine in public in a self-gratifying way, I'm sure the police would have something to say about that. To make things worse, well, it's sort of a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, but these videos have now become content for many different creators such as Joey Swole, who will say things like this.
First off, I am so sorry for the graphic content of this video. I didn't even want to post it, but something needs to be said because videos like this need to stop. This is absolutely disgusting.
That's good, and I agree. However, on every occasion where he shames this kind of content, he leaves their social media at fully visible, which effectively promotes their page that leads you directly to their OF account. Of course, in this case, I blanked it out. Now, Joey, I do like your content, but when you see women clout chasing to promote their sex work accounts, please block out their ats so they don't get rewarded by all the attention that your account gets. This video from Joey was effectively a 1-minute commercial for this girl because the guys subscribing don't care that she did something immoral, and her losing $150 or so in sign-up fees to that gym that she got kicked out of isn't going to put a dent in the probably thousands of dollars that she made off the Joey Swole promotion. Ultimately, stuff like this makes me glad that I have a home gym. And honestly, I think that gyms are just as responsible for not cracking down on people filming, as it seems like it's near impossible to go to the gym without someone filming you just trying to work out. If I just want to get from point A to point B in a gym, I have to worry about someone roid raging at me because I accidentally walked through his stupid deadlift shot. Or I have to make sure that I don't walk through a content creator's jump rope video. There's even this guy here making fun of it with a video of him trying to avoid the cameras at the gym to the Mission Impossible music. And if that's not bad enough, I've seen a ridiculous number of people filming in the locker room where people are changing. You can't even have privacy in the locker room. Is this not a crime? How is this guy who took the photo not being put on a registry? Same thing with the girls from earlier. The only thing that's going to stop this is if people actually start receiving consequences instead of having their bad behavior incentivized with free promotion. And addicts need to start exercising some self-control by not subscribing to an OnlyFans account every time they see a girl in leggings. Anyway, thanks for watching, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.